It's about, yeah, I'm consistent with this now. It's great, it's great, it's great, it's great. Okay, I stopped. I'm not doing it for a few days. Oh Jesus, what does this mean? Why am I not being consistent? What's going on in my noggin that's stopping me from being consistent? And then figuring that out and then going, there's the wagon gone off into the distance there and just going to run after it and catch back up with it and hop back up on it. And that's part of the journey. And that's what every successful person goes through. We all fall off the wagon. We all hop back up on it. It's part of the journey. This is Lioness Tribe. You are very welcome to my live talk today. So, today I'm talking about consistency. And, you know, I think that a lot of people believe that when they stop being consistent at the things that they are trying to be consistent with, and I'll give you a bunch of examples in a second, that they think that they're being lazy. And I say that because I have always thought that. I've always thought that if I haven't managed to be consistent with a diet, or if I haven't managed to be consistent with an exercise routine or something that I'm trying to practice to get really good at, or if, posting on social media, or um whatever, like learning an instrument, um if I haven't managed to continue to be consistent with the thing that I've decided I'm going to do, then it means, bottom line, that I'm fucking lazy and that's the end of it. And I don't deserve to get good at it. Um, and actually, you know, it's not true. What I've started to understand these days is that when I'm not being consistent with something that is important to me, that I've decided that I'm going to do, that my confidence is actually off. That's all it is. My confidence is off. And I've learned to just spot it quick and just dig around and find out what the fuck is going on with my confidence that's stopping me. And once I figure out what it is to do with my confidence is stopping me, then I can get back up on the wagon. I can get back up and start being consistent again with the thing that I want to do. So I'm going to give you an example, the whole point of this live is that I'm actually going to give you 5 tips how to be consistent. Um, but the most recent example that's happened to me is that so I last month had a goal that I wanted to get what I wanted to get 5 new clients last month. I think that's what it was. My God, the months are flying by so quickly. I wanted to get 5 new clients for my business last month, and I knew I thought to myself, okay, I've seen this marketing strategy work for other people, where basically you just keep consistently posting your message and like doing social media posts. So I made sure last month I posted on social media every single day, at least once, maybe twice, sometimes 3 times. But it was that I was doing it every working day. Now, of course, I missed a couple of days, but I tried my best to be consistent with that. And it worked, right? I got my 5 new clients last month. And I was like, yay, amazing. And was I posting perfectly? No. Was I, always saying exactly what I wanted to say? Not really. But I was getting better and better and better at it the more I did it, which is the whole point of consistency, right? Um, and I was like, okay, so next month I'm going to do exactly the same thing, but I'm going to be even better at it, and I'm going to get my new goal. So I had a goal of 8 clients this month, and now that I know that works, I'm going to do the fucking thing next month. No brainer, right? But I didn't. I didn't do it. I stopped and I couldn't for the life of me. I was like, why am I not doing this? And the only conclusion that my brain wanted to tell me was that I was being lazy, that I didn't want to keep posting on social media because it was just too much work. Um, and that I was too lazy to do it. And maybe that meant that I wouldn't get my 8 clients this month. Um, but then I was like, no, Lisa, you know better now. If you're not doing this because you're too lazy, you are not doing this because there is something going on with your confidence. I was like, but no, I feel really confident. I got my 5 clients last month. So of course I know I can do it. But still, the proof is in the pudding, right? I wasn't doing the thing. So I was like, right, what is going on? I did my usual thing, got my pen and paper out, and I have a process. Well, I have many processes, and I share about them all the time. I won't go into the detail of it right here, but I did one of my own confidence processes on myself. And I was like, okay, the point of it was though to figure out, okay, why can't I get why can't I get myself to actually just do the thing that I know works? Um, why am I not inspired to do the thing that I know works? Why am I not coming up with enough ideas like I did last month to do the thing that I know works? Why am I distracted by a lot and lots of other things? I'm telling myself that I don't have the time to do this quite simple thing that I know I don't even have to do perfectly for it to work, but I know it works. Am I being lazy? No, because I'm doing lots of other stuff. I'm not sitting on my ass, like doing nothing. I'm doing lots of busy work, but not the work that I know works. So what's going on? Um, and I realized that there was a fear there, right? So it's a lack of confidence, and when there's a lack of confidence, there's a fear. So I was like, okay, what am I afraid of? What am I afraid is going to happen if I stay consistent and stay doing this? And one of the things that I suppose I was afraid of, um, there, like there are always like your mind, your imagination always comes up with a bunch of negative consequences. So it's not that I was afraid of continuing to succeed. It's not that I was afraid of continuing to grow, because that was the whole point. That's what I wanted. But what are the negative consequences of continuing to succeed? What are the negative consequences of continuing to grow? And so I did a bunch of journaling on that, and I figured out that there were like, so I suppose the crux of it was that I was afraid that if I kept going, I would burn myself out because I was already seeing so many people. And it's a lot of energy to hold space for as many people as I was holding space for. And I was afraid that I wouldn't continue to do as good a job for the people that were coming to me for help as I had been able to do at the start when I had more time to do it. So I did a bunch of work around that, and then I got back up on that consistency wagon, and I kept going. Um, but this is the whole point. I was stopping myself by not being consistent. I had put the brakes on. There was something in me that was trying to protect myself by not being consistent. But you have to figure that out. You have to actually just go for it. Um, and do whatever works for you to get back to that confident place. Um, and if you cannot figure it out yourself, come to somebody like me. I do free sessions all the time with people. It's one of my ways of growing my business. I often use those free sessions to see if the person can use some extra help from me, or if they're a good fit for me, and if I feel like I can actually help them to make more money, or to get the promotion that they want, or to step into whatever confidence they need to do the thing that they want to do. So if you need help with your confidence, contact me. I might have a free session available, and if I do, I'll tell you about it. The other thing to remember about this consistency thing and stopping yourself is that we all do it, right? You're not on your own. If you have ever stopped yourself from being consistent with the things that you had said that you want to do, that you actually know in your heart that you really want to do, you can often feel like, well, oh, I always do this to myself. I always stop, even if it's going well. I just sabotage myself, and I'm just fucking terrible. And that's a very lonely place to be when you're feeling that way. And you can often feel like You are the only person in the world who does this to themselves, because you're looking at all these other people who seem to be succeeding. But guess what? Even the people who are succeeding fail to be consistent all of the time. But the difference is that they just get back up. They just um get hop back up on the wagon after they've fallen off it. Um, we all do it. You're not on your own. That is something very important for you to remember. You're not alone. The other thing is you're not failing. When you fail to be consistent every single step of the way, it doesn't mean that you're failing. It can feel like you're failing. It can feel like you're falling behind, but you're not actually falling behind. You're not actually failing. Stopping yourself and losing your confidence here and there is actually all part of the journey. It's all part of the process. It's all part of putting one step in front of the other, instead of the other in front of the other, and just continuing on your path. We all have been there. It's part of the journey. So if you can accept that it's part of the journey, you will you'll forgive yourself much quicker for not being consistent every single day. It's just part of it. It's not about stopping being consistent, and that the story that you're telling yourself, that piece of it being the most important piece of it. It's about, yeah, I'm consistent with this now. It's great, it's great, it's great, it's great. Okay, I stopped. I'm not doing it for a few days. Oh Jesus, what does this mean? Why am I not being consistent? What's going on in my noggin that's stopping me from being consistent? And then figuring that out and then going, there's the wagon gone off into the distance there, and just going to run after it and catch back up with it and hop back up on it. And that's part of the journey. And that's what every successful person goes through. We all fall off the wagon. We all hop back up on it. It's part of the journey. It's about finding that confidence, finding out what's happening to your confidence, just just pointing at it and going, oh yeah, there it is. That's what's going on for me. That's what I'm afraid of. And then having faith in yourself that you can keep going, that you can catch that wagon, and that, like, if you run after it, that you can catch it. It's having that faith that it's not too late to just run after the wagon. What's the worst that can happen if even if you don't actually catch the wagon? What's the worst that can happen if you run after it? You know, Having that faith in yourself that you can break into that sprint and just try at least to catch the wagon. Because confidence plus faith equals success, as I always say. So just get your confidence back and keep going. So my 5 tips are gonna be real quick now after that prelude. Um, my 5 tips for consistency are: make sure that the thing that you're trying to be consistent at is something that you actually do enjoy. Now, I'm not saying that you enjoy it, every single waking minute of it, but that you're interested in it. It lights you up, when you are in that good place, when you are being consistent with it. Just because you stop being consistent with it doesn't mean that you don't enjoy it, right? But sometimes we can be enjoying something like me with my posts, my social media posts. I was enjoying doing those social media posts. Um, it was working. It felt kind of easy, and yeah, and I really enjoyed sharing my story and sharing my message with people. So I was enjoying it. So make sure that it is something that you're not hating doing. If you're trying to be consistent, if you're like trying to be consistent as a runner, and you fucking hate running more than anything else in the world, why force yourself to be a runner? Choose a different exercise. Find something else that you actually enjoy, and then choose to be consistent with that. And then choose to know that when you stop being consistent with it, there's something going on, and you can sort that out. But the thing that you've chosen to be consistent with is something that you actually like, because it's a wagon that you're gonna want to catch, right? The second tip is know why you're doing it, right? For me, why I was doing my posts on social media was because it was a strategy for me to get more clients into my business, to get people more interested in me and my messaging and my business. So my why was to grow my business. And I was very, very clear about that. But just because I want to grow my business doesn't mean I can't like it as well. So just being really clear on your why and knowing why you're doing what you're doing will help you to be consistent with it, right? And will help you when you go back and ask that question to yourself, why have I stopped being consistent with it? Even though it's something that is helping me to grow my business, um, it will help you to just answer that question of why you've stopped it. I stopped it because even though it's helping me grow my business, I'm afraid that I'm going to stretch myself too thin in my business if I keep taking on clients. So knowing that why is really, really helpful on all levels. The third step to being consistent is just to take baby bites. Baby bites. You actually can't take anything. You can only take one step at a time, right? You can only eat your dinner one mouthful at a time. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? But if you're looking at the elephant and going, it's a fucking big elephant, how am I ever going to be able to eat it? Just remind yourself, baby bites, one bite at a time. So how am I going to grow my business into, the million-euro business that I wanted to be in a few years? One bite at a time, by taking consistent action, by doing the small things every day. That's how it will grow to that. But if I look at the elephant, if I look at the million-euro, I'm like, oh Jesus, how am I going to get there? And you get caught up in the how, right? But you don't have to. You just have to take the next step. You just have to take the next bite. Baby bites. Okay. That's the third tip. The fourth tip is to feel all the feelings. Feel them all. Feel all the feelings that are telling you, oh, I don't feel like doing it today. I don't want to do it. I'm afraid of doing it. I'm worried about doing it. I'm blah, 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 blah. All the feelings, feel them all. That's fine. And then do it anyway. In other words, ignore your feelings. Like, don't ignore your feelings for, like, danger, like real danger, like I'm going to get eaten by a wild bear. If you're feeling that, like, and there is a wild bear there, then absolutely you've got to pay attention to that. But like most of the time, the feelings that we're feeling of like, oh God, what will happen if I do this? It's just an imagined thing. It's not an actual real wild bear waiting for us to attack us. It's just, like I don't feel like doing it. I'm a bit, I don't feel inspired today. I don't feel up to it today. You kind of have to ignore those feelings sometimes and just do it anyway. Because I often find that, like if you're waiting for inspiration to hit, it won't hit. Where if you put your ass in the seat and actually take the pen up and start writing, you'll start feeling inspired as you're writing. Okay. It's like is it Stephen Pressfield? That book is by The War of Art. You know, that writing isn't hard, but sitting down to write is hard. I think that's a direct quote from that book. We all feel the resistance. You just kind of have to ignore it and get on with it anyway, right? So that's tip number 4. Feel all your feelings and then do it anyway. Feel all your feelings and ignore them, especially if they're telling you that you don't really feel like doing it. Just do it anyway. Or sit down and start doing it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but at least you've tried to do it. And then tip, and the most important tip, is get back up when you fall. You see a baby learning how to walk. If that baby, when they're learning to walk, falls over and then goes, oh well, I tried the walking thing, didn't really work out for me though. So maybe I wasn't meant to walk. They're not, they don't do that. It's just not, they're just like, oh, fell over, plump. Like I have a 10 month old, nearly 10-month old at home now, and she's so close. She is so close. And she's able to stand on her own for several seconds at a time until she realizes you're not holding her, and then she falls over. And she's so close to learning to walk, but we've got that ahead of us. And I just love that metaphor of the baby learning to walk. It's like they're going to be learning to walk for a long time before they're actually walking. But actually, in the grand scheme of things, not that long. But if they told themselves every time they fell over that maybe they weren't meant to walk, then like none of us would be walking, right? We'd have stopped ourselves from walking. When you fall off, when you fall over, you get back up. When you fall off the wagon, you just go, oh God, I fell off the wagon. You run after it and you hop back up on it and you keep going. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything that you fell off the wagon. It doesn't mean anything that you fell over. It's part of the journey. It's part of learning how to do it. So just like stop telling yourself that it's not meant to be. It's meant to be because you decided it's meant to be. It's meant to be because you're meant to walk. You're meant to do the thing that you're supposed to do. You're meant to do the business that you're supposed to do. You're meant to take up space in the world. You're meant to be amazing. So just keep going. You'll get there. You will get there. Thank you so much for listening today to my live video. I think this is a really, really important one because I think we can all relate. I will see you all again soon. And please, please remember, confidence plus faith equals success. Oh, one last thing before I finish up. I am launching the Lair Academy this month. The group starts next month. The price is at an all-time low because it is the founding member launch. So it is lower than it will ever be again. And I only have 2 places left. In fact, I had a conversation this morning and I might only have 1 place left as we speak. So if it's something that, if you've been hearing me talk about the Lair Academy and you're in any way interested, do not hesitate to give me a quick call and we can see if it's a good fit for you. Um, the Lair Academy is for people who are ready to make the decision to actually get out of their own way. They already know the things that they need to know. They might be stuck in perfection and going, I'm just waiting now for everything to be perfect before I actually apply for that promotion, before I actually launch that business, before I start charging higher prices, before I do the thing that I'm meant to do, right? Um, the women that I'm working with are, and the women who are signing up for this are ready to stop that shit. They are ready to actually just get into action, and they just need that little push and they just need that extra, like, little bit of coding, that extra little bit of confidence coding to help them just get out of their own way and start to do the thing that they were fucking put on this planet to do, and for it to be much easier than they ever thought it could be. As I say, I only have two places. One of those is a guaranteed place, and the other place somebody else may have snapped it by the time we finish this live video. So if you're in any way wondering about it, don't hesitate to get in contact with me. And I'm still sending out my free video as well. The money manifestation in minutes video. It's been so popular, I cannot believe it. So I'm still sending that to people, and I do talk about the Lair Academy at the end of that video too. So if you're interested in receiving that free training, do let me know. PM me or send me an email, Lisa at lisafox.ie, and I will make sure to get that training to you. Have an absolutely amazing day. I will see you all again soon. Confidence plus faith equals success. Bye.